How does everyone feel? We should be going live on our platforms as well.
Relaxed and wonderful.
Wonderful. We are continuing our focus on ourselves and the thing to be dealt with. Our awareness, our keenness of consciousness, and then our ability to execute our visions, our desires in life. And this is the way we live. We live towards fulfilling reality. Thank you guys that are watching this on Facebook or Instagram, and wherever you are in whatever part of the world you're at. Know that you are the light that fills the inner spaces of consciousness, your consciousness. Time, matter as you see it, is a production of the way you think. We want to have better, we want to have more, we've got to decide what more is. And as we begin to define what more is, we can create the life that we desire. What is your mission in life? What is your vision? What is your purpose? Why are you here? What do you want to experience? How do you want to live? These are the great questions that we must all go through our existence, through our time on this planet. And the better you can resolve this within yourself, resolve means to reanalyze, define, and create the life that you desire. Where am I going? Who am I? What is it that I really want? And the more you ask yourself these questions, the more you will be filled with light. When I say you'll be filled with light, well, you'll be filled with new ideas. Ideas are light images, and they come from a higher place, your higher consciousness. And if you look to listen, you will find the direction. When your inspiration begins to lead your intuition, you will be filled with light. When we try to force consciousness, when we try to force creativity or force things, and it's not true to ourselves, sometimes we chase false things. So it's important to do things in the right order. Find something that inspires you, that moves you into action, that inspires you into action. When you're inspired into action, you're going to do the things that you didn't know how to do. You're also going to do things in a better way, even in a more fluent way, in a more fluid way. And as you take on this way of thinking, this way of honoring yourself and honoring the desires that you want in life, you'll be filled with the thing called flow. You'll be flowing. And when you're in flow, things seem to work much better. What ideas have been holding you back from experiencing the life that you desire? What fears have been holding you back from fulfilling your life and living the way you want to live? So it's important to become aware of the things that are holding you back, the ideas and the beliefs that are stopping you from growing. Also, as you start to define and really become inspired by the things that you desire, that inspiration and aspiration will help you do the things in a more regular basis and going beyond what you know. Telling your body, giving yourself a command, and ultimately achieving things that you wouldn't have achieved before. Remember, when you really start to figure out that everything that's stopping you is invisible, the beliefs will begin to fade away. When you really begin to understand that there is nothing holding you back, it's you. You begin to tune in to a higher consciousness, a higher ability. But we all have to decide where we're going. And if you don't decide, you by law must go back to what you know. What is it that you want? What is it that you really want? How do you want to live? What fear is holding you back? Who's a critic in your mind? When we look at criticism, there's a critic inside of yourself, and you're normally criticizing whether you can do it or not do it, whether you're able or not able. What critic is holding you back? You know, the majority of people don't move because they're afraid of what other people think. But the truth is they're really not afraid of what other people think. They don't believe that they can accomplish it. And they're afraid of ridicule. But the truth is they're actually criticizing themselves before they even start. They're actually the critic. When you really realize that the thing that is holding you back is invisible and it's you, the chains of limitations will begin to break. I'm going to play a short part of this video.
Now, do you know, in another place he said here, however, whatever external effect we would produce, we must first enter into the spirit of it and work upon the spiritual principle, whether in ourselves or others. And by so doing, our insight will become greatly enlarged. In other words, you don't do it down the road, you got to do it now. He said to enter into the spirit of anything then is to make yourself one in thought with the creative principle that is at the center of it. Now, this will take on more meaning as we go through this presentation and as you read it back over. And then I'm going to recommend that you watch this often. Not just periodically, but you watch it often. Let's take a look. We're talking about the art of goal achieving. Now, let's ask the question, why is goal achieving an art? It's the manipulation of energy, is really what it is. If nothing's created or destroyed, you can't make something out of nothing any more than you can make nothing out of something. Now think about that. You cannot make something out of nothing any more than you can make nothing out of something. It may look like you've made nothing out of something. I may take a match and burn this, and it looks like I've made nothing out of something. No. All I've done is just cause that energy to change from one state to another. So that's why we look at it as an art. You're causing one type of energy to move to another type of energy. This energy may never have moved in that direction before until you came along. There's something very from one state to another. So that's why we look at it as an art. You're causing one type of energy to move to another type of energy. This energy may never have moved in that direction before until you came along.
Now, when we really look at this art of goal achieving, you're always in this constant flow of energy, and you're always in the art of goal achieving. You're always moving in one direction or another. The question is who is my imagination? What ideas, what organized thought has been controlling my behavior? And we are always in the art of goal achieving. But it's rare you find somebody actually defining and deciding where they're going. It's rare that you actually find somebody that is truly going beyond what they know. The average individual is not going beyond what they know. Their goal is last week. Their goal is last month. Their goal is last year. Their goal is the last decade. Now, why would somebody choose a goal and keep going in the same direction? Simply because they're not aware that they're more than what they are. How many years have you been stuck? How many months have you been stuck? We all become aware at some point in time whenever we're no longer moving into another direction. How many more years do you want to stay in the same path to experience the same reality? How many more experiences do you want to have waking up to the same thing every day? You've got to really ask yourself, am I worthy of the good that I desire? And if you're not ready to ask yourself that question, and if you're not ready to make a decision to change, you will repeat the lesson every day until you learn. Will that be 1 year? Will that be a few months? Will you repeat it again in a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, 10, 20, 30, 40? Will you be sitting at your deathbed saying, my God, I wish I would have changed? You don't know how much time you have, but you do know you have right now. Now, we have these classes that we teach every day, every week, every month, all year round, because we know that in order for you to change, it's through the repetition that you change. Education is not teaching people things. Education is teaching people how to behave as they would have never have behaved before. We are teaching true education. There is a part of your consciousness that was programmed to act and behave and to even think as you think and behave as you behave. And that awareness, that consciousness will continue on the same path the rest of its life to the rest of your time. Now, you think I'm wrong? Look around at your family members. Look around at the society that you're living in. Because this awareness and this way of thinking is known around the planet, and it's rare that you find people changing. If you look for somebody doing something different, you'll find people do something different for a little bit, and they go back to what they are. You'll find a lot of people get excited, and then they go back to where they are. You'll find people looking into this and looking into that, but never really changing. And if they do change, it's very little. It's rare that you find somebody that truly continues to change and masters that change. If you don't believe me, look at your results. If you don't believe me, look at their results. I know this because I study it, and I study this on the purpose of understanding consciousness so that I can help those people make those shifts and those changes. But I do know that if you're looking around you, the chances are you're looking towards the wrong guidance. If history has proven that 95, 97% are going in the wrong direction, what are the chances that you're surrounding yourself with the right information and the right people? Now, I went to study with the Procter & Gallagher Institute because I wanted to learn from Bob. I was doing things that I wasn't doing before. I was changing my life. I was getting results that I was never getting before. I was earning lots of money. I was experiencing my changes. I was experiencing my reality change. And I wanted to give that to others. But I found that others could not do what I was doing. They would say they wanted to, but they couldn't do it. They wanted the result, but they didn't want to take the actions. Now, I wanted to learn and bring this back to our companies because I really believe that everybody wanted to change. But the truth is that people rarely want to change. They want to stay exactly who they are. They want the result, but they don't want to face the change. Now, if you're looking at this live streaming or you see it later on, you need to understand, clearly understand, you are why you are at where you are at. And if you, the higher you, truly wants more and wants to become more, you're going to have to bet on you. You're going to have to change you because you are the reason why you are at where you are at. I had to step into this realization myself many years ago. I was looking at the man in the mirror, and I did not like what I was seeing and experiencing. But I had to come to the brutal truth that I was the one that had brought me to that very same place. It's the way we think. Goals are not for getting, they're for growing. The programs that we're teaching are to help people that no longer want to be common, that no longer want to get common results. If you're that person, we've got the information for you. Will it be repetitive? Yes, it will. Will you have to be in classes every day? The more you are, the quicker you're going to change. When will the results come? Normally, 3 months, 6 months, year and a half. Normally it's taken, I've seen people that it normally takes them 1.5 to 2 years to actually get results that they don't fall too far back and fall back to what they were. Why does it take so much time? How many years did you go to school to repeat the same information again? You see, the school understands at the higher ranks of school education, they understand that it's through repetition that people change. And if the repetition is not there, you go back to what you were. But here's another part the school that does not understand and really does not teach. They teach you how to gather information, but they never teach you how to direct it to a definite end. Nor do they teach you that you have a program inside of you that's going to want to cause you to do and act and behave as you do. And if you don't change that, how could you ever change your world? So there's many areas that you're going to need to work on. But the truth is, all of it is you. You cannot go in any part of your awareness or your consciousness where you do not find you. You cannot go in any part of your world, any result that you have, and not find you. What you're finding is the way you think. People do not have problems, they have programs. The programs think. That awareness, that organized effort is telling you what to do. And that is the reason you're living the way you're living. And the truth is, if you're happy with that agency of the mind, and that's where you want to stay, then do that. But there will come a day that you're no longer satisfied. And there will come a day that you no longer want to be that. When you are ready, you know that there's an educational system that is helping people going past that. People do not live the way they live by accident. They live the way they live because that's the way they were bred to live. They were culturally created to think, act, and do as they do. If you didn't know, that age was 0 to 5, maybe 7, 8. You were culturally programmed to act, think, and behave as you do. This doesn't happen to one person, it happens to everyone around the world. And this is why goal achieving is an art, because it is a manipulation of one energy to another. Your energy, your light. And the better we get an idea that the truth is that we could have been anything. The better we get this understanding that we could have been anything, we can change everything. And that's actually the thing that changed my life. The minute I really understood that anything was possible. Take a look at what we're doing. Get involved with looking at personal development. Personal development is the key to success. The key to any successful endeavor is working on yourself. Thank you, guys. And we'll be ending this scheduled Instagram, Facebook page. And if you really want to go beyond, send me a message, send the Institute a message. We'll be in contact with you. Everybody have a wonderful day.